In today's lecture, I am going to explain Newton's third law of motion. So, for having an understanding of first and the second law of motion, please see the previous videos. So, for Newton's third law of motion, I would like to give an example first. Okay, suppose it's a ground here, right? And there is a ball. Now, I am throwing this ball downwards. So, what will happen? The ball will hit the ground, the ball will hit the ground, and then it will take a tip, and then again it will stop, right? So what is happening now? Basically, I'm just throwing the ball, throw down, right? That means the ball is applying the force on the ground, and ground is basically giving a reaction on the ball, right? So what I'm doing ball on the ground, right? Now ground, so what is happening? Ground is applying force on the ball in upward direction, right? Because just we are throwing the ball on a ground, it will take a tip and then it will finally stop. That means why it takes a tip? Because the ground is applying the upward force on the ball, right? So basically what is happening? The ball is applying force to the ground. So this I can say is the action, right? But now what is doing? The ground is applying an upward force on the ball. That means it is giving a reaction. So this action and reaction is very important in Newton's third law of motion. So what is the statement of Newton's third law of motion? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Okay? And remember, this is a statement of the Newton's third law of motion. Okay, another thing, action is a force exerted by first body on the second body, right? Now in this case, our first body is ball. This is our first body, and our second body is ground, right? So what is happening? The first body, action is a force exerted by first body onto the second body, right? So this is the action. So ball is our first body, ground is second body. So ball is doing an action, and reaction is also a force exerted by a second body, that means a ground, onto the first body, that means on the ball, right? So we can write it. It's very, very important. Action is a force exerted by the first body onto the second body, and reaction is also a force exerted by the second body onto the first body. Okay, we can take an example of a swimming. When a swimmer is swimming, that means he is the first body and water is the second body. It's moving. So for going up, for moving, for moving in the direction, what will happen? It will just slide the water to the back, and then it will push the water to the back, and it will move forward, right? When we are walking, what will happen when we are walking? That means we are the first body and the ground is the second body. So we are just taking our feet up, and the ground is giving the reaction on our feet. That's why we are moving we are moving forward. So now, so if the action is upwards, then the reaction will be opposite, downwards. If the action will be like this, then the reaction will be in opposite direction. So I can say that F action equals to minus F reaction. So this is the mathematical you can write in for the Newton's third law of motion, and this negative sign represents opposites, opposite direction, right? But the magnitude is same. And always remember, action and reaction do not act on the same body. It's different always. So this is our third law of motion. So this is the statement of third law of motion. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is the mathematical you can write, and negative sign represents opposite, and action and reaction do not act on the same body. Very, very important.